Nothing quite beats the feeling of landing a perfect one-tap headshot onto an enemy player. To land such headshots though, requires a high level of precision that is difficult to achieve without the right practice. In this video, we're going to break down 5 insane tips that will drastically increase your headshot percentage. Without further ado, let's get into it, boys and girls. First up, the number one tip to getting a higher headshot percentage is crosshair placement. You probably heard the old saying now that you should always place your crosshair at head level. But where exactly is head level that one should be aiming for? With practice, you'll eventually get used to the general position that your crosshair should be to hit a headshot. But what if I told you there was a trick that you can implement in game to make this crosshair placement easier to identify? Riot has actually designed Valorant's maps and objects so that there are landmarks to refer to for the head. One of the most common objects you'll see in the maps are crates and boxes, and a number of them are actually designed so that the top of the boxes are actually at head level for player models. This will depend on your position, but generally the top of the first boxes will be at headshot level, where you can simply line up your crosshair with and then aim at that position that you were originally going for. For example, this first crate on A short bind is perfect to use along with the crates at triple. In this clip, I used the metal crate in middle on split to line up my crosshair prior to peeking out and getting into a duel with Viper. With this placement, I was able to easily get a headshot with my first few bullets. Crates and boxes aren't the only landmarks on maps to help you line up headshots though. There are too many to go over in just this video, but several lines and other objects on the maps can be used to line up your crosshair. For example, you may notice that some walls will be split into 2 different shades of a certain color. Right under hookah, you can see there is a top section that is a lighter shade of blue, and then at the bottom half it's a darker shade. If we line up our crosshair on the line that's created between these 2 shades, we have another landmark to line up headshots for players pushing through B. There's another similar landmark outside the wall on Garage Haven where there's a wooden board with 2 different shades of brown. Like the previous landmark, the middle of these 2 shades is set up for a headshot. There are also targets on the wall outside Garage Haven where the red dot on the middle target is right at head level. There are plenty more landmarks in the game than those, but with these few examples, you'll be able to get a majority of them throughout each map in Valorant. Speaking of which, there are plenty more guides where that came from if you really want to take your Valorant game to the next level on our website. We have incredibly detailed guides and courses that give you step-by-step directions on several aspects of Valorant. If you're looking for a beginner's guide, we got you covered. Or perhaps you're looking for a guide on a specific agent or map, good news, we have a whole course for that as well, and so much more. Each course includes an entire compilation of videos that will help you achieve your goals, and we guarantee you will see results at a rapid pace. The link for the website will be provided in the description below. Moving on to our second tip, a key component to improving your headshots is predicting the enemy's movements and positioning. If we combine our crosshair placement with good movement and predictions, we'll be able to land headshots like no tomorrow. Whether players realize it or not, everyone has certain positions or habits that they commonly play and do. If someone's been pushing out Garage on Haven 3 rounds in a row, chances are they're going to push it again. Or you may find that someone's playing the same position over and over. Identify those habits and plays and take advantage of them by pre-aiming those spots and punishing them for being so predictable. Now if you have no idea what the enemy likes to do or play, there are still common positions that you can check that have good odds of having a player present. If we break down Garage, common positions that are played include window, connector, behind boxes, and in the corners of garage doors. With this knowledge, you can now slowly peek each position and prepare to shoot if you see an enemy there. Work your way through these positions until you clear out the choke point, and then proceed to do the same thing in the next area of attack or defense. This preparation and expecting in your head that a player will be playing certain spots will get yourself physically and mentally ready to tap a quick headshot on those who stand in your way. With that being said, our third tip is all about going for quality shots. This means taking your time and ensuring that you have your aim lined up perfectly before you shoot. An all too common habit that we see low ranked players doing is panic spraying. But spraying an excessive number of bullets before you're able to kill or deal damage to an enemy is typically ineffective. The longer you spray, the more randomness you'll have to deal with and the lower your chances of getting the frag. You want to make your first bullets count and always aim for a kill within those first few bullets. Pros do this insanely fast where it's hardly recognizable that they're lining up their shots prior to shooting, but they are. If you find yourself spraying for long durations, the first step is to slow it down and take your time. This may mean that you don't actually shoot the enemy immediately when you see them. Rather, take an extra half second or so to make sure your crosshair is on the head and then shoot. If you do this correctly, you will find that you're landing way more headshots and don't have to spray nearly as long as before. This is particularly good to practice with pistols. Most pistols are quite inaccurate if you simply spam click them as fast as you can. With the exception of the shorty in a very close range engagement, you want to fire a bullet and then let the recoil reset before firing another one. While you wait for the recoil to reset, you want to perform the same action of lining up your crosshair with the enemy, and once you're fairly sure you have the headshot, you shoot. Rinse and repeat until the enemy is eliminated. Quality trumps quantity in this game, so always keep that in mind when you are going for your engagements. An old saying is practice makes perfect. Without repetition, it's hard to ingrain these concepts into memory. So here are some of our favorite practice drills that we recommend doing to help boost your headshot accuracy and translate it to actual games. No weapon screams quality shots like the Sheriff, so we recommend using this weapon for the training range. We're going to start off by spawning multiple bots and running off to the side of the map. From there, we're going to stay still and just focus on landing headshots onto the bots. Take your time and again, make sure the recoil fully resets before shooting. This is more of a warm up to get us ready for the harder, more measurable drills that we're about to do. Do this for about 2 to 3 minutes and then start implementing side movements prior to shooting each shot. Most of the time you'll be moving in some way or another prior to an engagement, so doing this helps make our practice more realistic and translatable to actual gameplay. Do this for another 2 to 3 minutes before going into the eliminate 50 streak mode on the range. Now we have a timer ticking that will help us assess progress through our drills. Go for headshots only, and again, make sure that you are mobile throughout the drill to make the situation more realistic to in-game. Once you eliminate 50 bots, you'll receive a time that showed how fast you were able to complete the activity. Perform this 3 times and jot the times down. This will be used each day to track how we're doing and if we need to slow things down or speed things up. Another important part of accuracy is tracking. Once we have an enemy on our crosshair, we want to keep it that way during our shots and sprays. A good drill to work on tracking is through the range. Select the bot and slowly walk side to side while trying to keep your crosshair on the bot's head. Get comfortable with that and then start strafing to pick up the pace and increase the difficulty of this drill. This will feel a bit awkward at first, but being able to track an enemy and maintain your aim on them is crucial to being able to land your shots if your first bullet or so falls through. We recommend performing this for at least 5 minutes. The more the merrier, but make sure you leave time to actually play real games. Most players don't have the time to do excessively long routines, so we are keeping this in mind by providing the minimums. Now we want to be accurate first, but being quick is still very important. You won't have all day to aim at enemies, so while we may need to take our time to hit shots at the moment, we do need to get our time down so that it's instantaneous. Once we achieve a high level of accuracy and speed, we'll be cracking heads in no time. This is where our next drills will come to play. In the training range, there is an easy, medium, and hard challenge mode. You've likely dabbled on this before, but these challenges are great for forcing ourselves to be accurate and speedy. Bots will appear one by one on the screen, and you need to eliminate them before they disappear. Use a Vandal, and if you're a beginner, you'll want to start off on easy mode and work your way up. The harder the difficulty, the quicker the bots will disappear. The rule for all these drills though is to only fire 5 bullets against every bot. If our crosshair placement and preparation is on point, you should be able to kill bots within this number. Particularly on hard mode, you won't have much more than that before the bot disappears. By limiting our bullets, this forces us to have to be quick but also efficient. On easy mode, the goal is to be able to eliminate all 30 bots. On medium, the goal is 25, and on hard, we want 15. Once you can consistently hit 30 on easy, you want to focus more on medium and hard modes because those modes are more at the pace that you'll have to try to kill enemies in real matches. Perform at least 10 bouts of these challenges and work towards those goals. Once that's said and done, it's time to put it all together in Deathmatch. Deathmatch gives you the best bang for your buck, getting you into as many engagements as possible in a short duration. This is where you want to take those drills and apply them to a more realistic environment. We suggest using the Vandal or Sheriff and going for one taps and short bursts to get your kills. Whatever you do, do not spray. We want crisp headshots with as little bullets as possible. Maintain our emphasis on speed and efficiency. Perform 1 to 2 DMs after performing our first drills and prior to getting into an actual match. Last but not least, a key component of hitting accurate headshots is having a good mentality going into our games and our individual duels that we encounter. This is important. No matter how many drills and concepts we learn, if we go into a game feeling scared and tense, all the practice and knowledge will go down the drain. This goes back into those panic moments that players may face. Whether they're trying to defend a choke point or clutch out a round, there will be situations that are more mentally taxing than others. If we let this affect us, our level of play will significantly drop, sometimes to the point that we just throw all our practice out the window. Suddenly all our movements are off, our crosshair placement is off, and it feels like you can't win a single duel. If you relate to this, then this last tip is arguably the most crucial in today's guide. If you tend to get tense and nervous in game, you need to find something that will help ease those nerves. Every player is different, but find an activity or action that will help you remain calm during those intense events. A few examples include meditating for 5 minutes before a match, taking a deep breath before you clutch, or having a pep talk with your teammates before the game begins, or with yourself in between rounds. Some pro players have even begun working out at the gym, as it not only helps with their physical health, but also mental well-being, so they go into their matches with a clean slate. There are several scientific studies done on the correlation between exercise and mental health. Now, we don't suggest everyone to just jump out of their beds and sign up for a gym membership. Point being, find an activity that is calming to you specifically. If we stay calm and relaxed, we'll be much more capable of performing as we expect. This may seem silly at first since it's not a particular in-game mechanic that we're working on, but we need to be in a positive, energetic mental state to play well and get those headshots that we so desire. That's all we have for today's tips to boost your headshot accuracy. We hope this was helpful for you to start getting those satisfying shots and kills. If this was helpful, we also highly recommend checking out our other video on how to use a program called Aim Labs to further improve your aim in Valorant. And lastly, don't forget, if you're really looking to optimize all aspects of your play, be sure to check out SkillCapped.com, link in the description below. As always, my name is Dr. Zora, and we here at SkillCapped want to thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.